Hello viewers, you're welcome back to my channel. Okay, today we are doing physics, and under that physics we want to talk about measurement. Okay, now what is measurement? Measurement is the process of assigning a numerical and unit value to a physical quantities by comparing it to an established known standard unit. What does that mean? As you can see, if I want to sew a clothes or you want to sew a clothes, there is a need for your seamstress, there is a need for your tailor to know your measurement. What is that measurement? So that measurement is number attached to a physical quantity. Now the problem is, what is physical quantity? And you need to know what is physical quantity because you see it all through in physics. When we talk of physical quantity, we are simply talking of the property of a material that can be measured. Have you seen it? That property of a material that you can measure, that thing you can measure in a material is its physical quantity. Example, length, mass. Have you seen it? These are what we attribute as physical quantities. That which can be measured. Have you seen it? Yes. So now, that thing that you can measure, now we attribute or you assign a number to it. So you know whether the quantity we want, whether it's big or small. My measurements as a big person, don't laugh at me, will not be the same for a slimmer person. Have you seen it? So we need that numerical value. Then the unit is important to tell you which place are you measuring or what are you measuring. Have you seen it? Now we are going to compare that which we measured with a standard unit. So now what is a standard unit should be the question. Okay, look at it. Scientists all over the world, all over globally, internationally, came up together and said we should assign a name and a unit to a particular thing so that when we talk, we understand one another. So, standard unit is an agreement, an agreed unit, an agreed name given to something which, if wherever we are, if we say it, all of us understand one another. Have you seen it? That measurement is a language. For us scientists, it is a language. We understand it where you see it, anywhere you see yourself. It is internationally accepted. Moreover, the unit is known as XI units. So the scientists now come up and say something like this. Okay, let's say that the space between one point and another, if there is a space between one point to another, let's call this space between this point and another length. Let's call it length. Have you seen it? So we now agreed as a scientist that this is length, and now let's add a unit to it. Have you seen it? So this length that we should note it, its unit will be m. That is meter. Have you seen it? Scientists agreed that this unit will be attached to length. That means anywhere we see us measuring length, we know that unit for length will be meter. We agree internationally. Maybe in your local places, you have the things you call them. But others will not understand it because there was no agreement. Have you seen why others, you can call it anything. But for this one, it's internationally recognized. It is reproducible, it is correct, it clears confusion. So whenever a scientist discovers something and reports it, understand as theory, as law, others tend to understand it because we are using a unit assigned to it, and that unit is standard unit. So whenever we measure something, we compare it with that one we agreed on. The process of doing that is known as measurements. Do you understand? Okay, now we have parts of measurements. We have magnitude. Magnitude. When we talk of magnitude, what does it mean? It just tells us the size of an object. The size of an object. So whenever you say magnitude, it's talking about size. And we attach, just give it a number. Understand? Magnitude can be 5. Have you seen it? I can say I walked 5. But have you seen it's not complete? I walked 5 words. Understand? I need 5 words. What does it mean? Doesn't mean anything. The unit gives it a meaning. Remember, the unit completes the measurement for it to be a complete language. But I can say I walk 5 meters. Have you seen it? So this meter is now the unit. Have you seen it? The meter is now the unit. So magnitude and unit makes up a measurement. Have you seen it? I can ask you, what is the time? Oh, it's 5 seconds past. It's 5 seconds past. We are saying the same thing. I'm understanding it. Others will understand it too. That is measurement. It must have magnitude and it must have unit. The magnitude is a value, the size. Understand? It can be 5, it can be 10, it can be any number given to it. Why this units can be, it can be meter, it can be seconds, it can be Kelvin, as the case may be. Understand? Okay, now this brings us back to our physical quantities. You know these physical quantities, which we say that it is the property of a material that can be measured. It has 2 types of it. It is classified into 2. We call it fundamental quantity. We call it fundamental quantity. And the second one is called derived quantity. The second one is called derived quantity. We have fundamental quantity and derived quantity. What is fundamental quantity? Fundamental quantity is the independent physical quantity. Remember what is physical quantity? Those things that you can measure. Those things you can measure length, mass, time. That is physical quantity. That cannot be derived from any other physical quantity. You cannot get it from any other physical quantity. Just that basic physical quantity. What do we mean by that? Those ones scientists come together and said, okay, let's call this, let's call length. Let's call length. Any distance between, any gap between a point to another point, let's call it, that distance, let's call it length. And that length, let's assign a unit to it. They now agree to assign a unit, which is what? Meter to it. Have you seen it? So while defining fundamental quantity, we can also define fundamental units. Fundamental units will also be those independent physical units or those units that cannot be derived from any other unit. It's a matter of removing your physical quantity and writing units. Remove physical quantity and writing units. The first one is telling you the attribute, the property of the object, which is the length, the mass. Understand? While the unit is telling you the units attached to it, so that when you hear it, you know what we are talking of. Have you seen it? So this fundamental quantity, we have 7 of them. I have an acronym for it. And that acronym is TOMET. What do we mean by TOMET? Guys, we have to draw our table first. When we draw our table, we have our quantity. We have our quantity. We have our SI units. SI units telling us that it's international agreed units people use. Okay, and this one is the symbol that we use to denote it. Understand? So wherever you see the symbol, you know what we are talking of. Okay, now we can start from TOMET. Let our T be time. You can start from mass. You can start anywhere. Do you understand? You can start from length. You can start from anywhere. We have our time. The SI unit for time is second. Remember, this quantities is telling us about the fundamental quantity, while the SI unit is telling us about the fundamental unit. They have the same definition. The fundamental quantity are those quantities that cannot be derived from any other physical quantity. The fundamental units are those units that cannot be derived from any other unit. Have you seen that it's the same thing? Very good. So now the symbol for second is our small x. So whenever you see something like this, just know that we are talking of what? Time. So this is the first one. Then the second one is our A. Our A is what? Our A is amount of substance. Amount of substance. So when we talk of amount of substance, what are we talking about? Amount of substance, you will see it as mole. The SI unit for amount of substance is mole, and which we write like this. Are you saying there is no E? There is no E here. As you can see, there is no E here. So we now come to the third one, which is our L. We have our length. Now we come to length. So for length, the SI unit assigned to length is meter. And the symbol is just M. Then the fourth one is what the other L. Other L means luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. And the unit assigned to luminous intensity is candela. Candela, which is our CD. So we now come to the fifth one. We have our M. Our M is mass. And which the unit given to it is kilogram, which is our kg. Well, look at the sixth one. The sixth one is our E, electricity. The unit given to it is ampere, which is our A, and this is our temperature. The unit given to it is Kelvin, and that is our K. So these are the 7 fundamental units and 7 fundamental quantities that we have in science. You can start from this, mate, ton, or ton mate. With this, I hope you get your fundamental units.